with a set of lesson notes for momentum and energy for year 12 physics, and this is lesson 1. This is an introduction to momentum. So what is momentum? It has to do with the quantity of motion of an object, and you have to be moving in order to have momentum. Only moving objects have momentum. The greater the momentum, the more damage it can do. So here's a big truck and here's a little car. Now if they're going with the same speed, but the big truck has got more mass, so it will have more momentum. Now if there are two cars, identical cars, but they're going at different speed, the one that's going faster will have greater momentum. So momentum depends on two quantities. It depends on mass as well as velocity. So note I've used the word velocity and not speed because momentum is a vector quantity, so both size and direction are important while calculating momentum, and the unit of momentum is the unit of mass times unit of velocity, so it's kilogram meters per second. Now here are some questions on momentum that I've done, so you can take a look at the question. It's in black, and practice it and check your answer with what I've got. Now moving on, why are we learning about momentum? So one of the important things is looking at change in momentum. So the momentum of an object can change if there is a change in either the mass, the speed, or the direction of motion. So how do we calculate change in momentum? There's loads of ways. One of them is final momentum minus initial momentum. So when we are subtracting, because momentum is a vector, we have to use the rules for vector subtraction, which is add the opposite. And here is an example. If the initial momentum was 10 kilogram meters per second going in this direction, and the final momentum is something else going in the same direction, when you subtract two vectors in the same direction, you add the opposite. So what's the meaning of opposite? The size is the same, but the direction is 180 degrees opposite. So you've got two of them in opposite directions. You find the difference and put the sign of the larger. Now the larger quantity is this, so that is it. And here's another one. Different examples of initial and final momentum. These are 180 degrees opposite each other. These are 90 degrees opposite each other. So remember, it's always the final. So you got to put the final first and then the initial. Okay, often because it's a vector, you would have to say the direction of the final momentum, and the best way is to write it as an angle. So a triangle has got three angles. You might often wonder which angle are we going to use. So you're going to look at where the tails are meeting, because that's what rays originate from. Okay, so they go this way outwards. So you got to get wherever the tail is. All right then, so that's lesson 1.